Hello and welcome to Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm Sam,
And I'm Jim.
and welcome to our Jujutsu Kaisen episode by episode discussion recap podcast thingy.
Yeah.
We are on episode 19, Black Flash.
Black Flash. So, Sam, as my friendo, how did you think of this episode?
Pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Seeing Todo's always great.
There was a really late OP
Yes.
in this one. It came in like 6 minutes in,
Yes.
and it was very strange, but I really liked how it was the first part was so intense with Maki
Yes.
and Megami just going to town on.
Basically,
guy.
everybody just trying to use two of them get KO because they're just using so much of their fucking power. Togo just literally destroying his throat trying to stop it.
That was crazy, and him even
Or Togi, sorry.
even after he was fucked, he still was blast back, and damn, poor boy.
Yeah, but it's cool seeing Maki come in there. She broke Biwa's sword,
That was awesome.
and then she pulls out some of the other weapons though. The 3-tier staff staff nunchucks that they have that weapon Devil May Cry 5, and I love that.
Yeah, that was really sick.
And
also, what's his face? Megami, the sword he had was really cool too.
Yeah, the one he had the entire time on him.
Well, and he can reach into the shadow realm to
Basically
store weapons.
weapon storage area.
I think there was a joke that Maki said where it was the weapon that she was using is so valuable that if he were to sell it, it'd be worth $5 billion or something. So this is this is the other thing.
I'm pretty sure the monster even said oh, that's a pretty good weapon you actually have there.
Yeah, we learned that the weapons have a similar grading system too.
Great, another power system for Maki alone.
Literally. But no, I mean it was cool. It was really sick. Also, we learned that
Well, also during the whole thing, what's it called? Narutoshi, he was able to get an actual wound on the head because he was holding back apparently the entire time.
And with his fight in Megami, he did a cool blood beam thing.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
So.
And then we also see I lost my train of
We
thought.
also learned about Megumi's the power. So if one of his shadow things completely destroyed, it's it won't come back, but the power is passed on to the next summon.
It can be used into another summon. So what it
the White Wolf
seemed
died.
to be, it seemed like he put the power of the White Wolf into the Black Wolf.
Yes.
So it made a huge freaking werewolf.
Yeah, it
was sick.
But it was sometimes on two legs as well. It was a weird Pokemon kind of thing where you just
It did kind of remind me of Lycanroc.
Yeah, Lycanroc, the dust form of Lycanroc.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so they basically they try to fight him. Megumi and Maki put up a good fight, but they eventually get
they're about to lose. Megami's about to do a secret ultra technique.
Well, yeah, he also has the branch that drains his energy if he tries to use his power.
One of Dio's flesh buds.
It makes me. But I did oh yeah, if I tell people what it does, they end up usually using more of their power.
Yeah, I think he said apparently it makes it work better.
Yeah, and then and Maki's in it being choked. Yeah, and that's when the best friends Yuji and Todo come in.
I love the scene because Maki gets her glasses knocked off, so that means that she can't even see.
I think she could probably see him because if it manifests that, I think it manifests no people can't see him. Yeah, but
so Maki is literally just being held up by nothing. She can't even see what's attacking her.
Unless it's counting as being Earth. She's just seen the strength, the Earth
wood. I think
around her.
Maki is just being held up invisibly to her.
She knows.
But I love that she's it's our time to tap out, and then you see freaking Yuji and Todo slam into the ground and save her.
Good. And they became full on best friends now. There's
friendo.
So many good. And basically it goes you already land Black Flash on him. I'm not gonna help you until you land one move on him.
Yeah, which is great. I love that they are you said this they're keep teaching this, they're treating this as if it's training.
Yes.
Even though they're dealing with a huge curse.
A huge threat that rivals, a lot of people in the group alone. We've seen the most powerful people in each group have been KO'd by it.
Mm-hmm. We know that Toto's probably the most powerful of the students.
Yes.
I can't remember if it was a special grade or a first grade, but he took out by himself.
Yeah.
Before, like
he has legends
super
around
capable.
him.
Yeah. So it's great that he's like, all right, Yuji, you have to do this one until we can team up.
Like, oh, doesn't have much. He doesn't have as much power compared to me, but he probably has some kind of crazy ability. And then like, oh, Sukuna's vessel. I hear he's very immature. And then like, yeah, but then he basically like tries to say, oh, you know Mojito. He's like, what if I do? And then he gets angry and like fucks up a lot of his stuff, and then he gets slapped by Todo. Like, get a hold of yourself. Your emotions are too much.
Yeah, I love that Todos just smacks him.
It's so good.
And then here we learn what the Black Flash is.
It's as Jim would say,
super epic technique. It's a big punch.
Yes,
it's a big anime punch.
Yes, I was like, Jim knows. A few people have seen it. Like, it's like the one teacher for the other school, like the Tokyo school.
Okay. So I think what they were explaining there. So we learned that the Black Flash is like a technique that is unreliable. Like, this is something that
no one has been able to use consistently.
Yeah, no one can use it consistently, but it does like 2.5 times the damage that your normal attack does, and it's basically like you're triggering your curse energy like 1/1,000,000,000 of a second.
Black
at the right
Flash
time.
is a distortion in space created when cursed energy is applied to a physical hit within 1/1,000,000,000th of a second. It delivers 2.5 times the power of a normal hit, and it's a technique no sorcerer can utilize at will. The difference between those who have used Black Flash and those who have not are like heaven and earth.
So that's when they explain this thing like, okay, it's like there's like a huge gap between them, and they show the one guy who we saw at the end of the Mojito arc.
The teacher, and the guy who cleaned up the sewers.
Yeah, and I think that like because they showed them and the background was red, and then they showed Gojo and Nanami, and the background was blue. So I think they're like Nanami and Gojo have definitely done it, and then those two have never been able to.
Yeah.
It's also it's basically just saying like only the most badass motherfuckers can do the Black Flash.
And Yuji's going to use it all the time now. I'm going to bed.
That was my thought too.
He's got the Rasengan, and he's gonna keep using that shit.
When we were told that it's something that no one can use consistently, I was like, oh, well, we have someone who will now.
I do find it hilarious that he has to be so concentrated to use it that he just starts drooling.
That was really funny. What is Rasengan? I don't fucking know Naruto.
It's the fucking, like, the little, like, spear he makes in his hand that he shoves into people, essentially.
I have no fucking idea. Who is doing this?
Naruto summoned the Shadow Clone around his hand to make this, like, blue chakra sphere around his hand, and that's when he goes and, like, slaps in India.
Is it like the big most epic punch?
It's like a palm strike, essentially. Close thing to a punch is a palm strike.
But it does like a big anime hit.
Yeah, he hit it on like he got deflected it and went to a water tower, and the water tower had a small hole, but in the back of it was just like a huge explosion. So it just like tends to like shoot out like a reaction more.
Sure. So yeah, it's basically just gonna become Yuji's like signature move.
Yes, most likely.
This is really interesting to me as like an element of Jujutsu sorcery, because this feels like in a video game where there's like certain exploits that people use. Like it feels like a video game exploit. Like, oh yeah, if you do this like 1/1,000,000th of a second after you do it,
or like a cutscene like quick time event that you just end up doing.
Yeah, it's literally a frame perfect move that Yuji needs to do.
Pretty much, but 1/1,000,000th of a second frame perfect.
Frame perfect.
So yeah, then they've got some really cool animation. I think them just like flying through the trees, like avoiding attacks and all that stuff. That was really
cool. That was like. Yeah, it was insane. I was not expecting the bad guy. So the other thing, the arc of the bad guy in this is like he's slowly starting to like learn to love fighting.
The thrill of a good fight, or like someone like when you actually like, getting beaten kind of thing, or someone actually like, being a threat.
Mm-hmm. It seemed like he wasn't really trying to like.
I mean,
go all out before.
He unleashed his rose arm.
Yeah, which we haven't seen yet.
Yeah. So yeah, basically it's just a really cool animated sequence of them just dodging and trying to get some hits in, and then they kind of get like knocked, the ground below them get knocked off, and then they're basically falling, and then just doing a bro team up technique of like putting their feet together and shooting off each other, and then landing in some bushes.
Great. So it's the one thing of that scene is like Todo remarked that like, all right, since this guy that we're fighting is using so much curse energy to make all these branches, this must be weak, and he must not have control over it. And then he's able to just, like, poof them all away in a second. Yeah. So he clearly does have control over all the power of the curse.
And Todo, once they land on the ground, they start fighting. Like, Todo's like, I'm going to release my secret technique, and then it ends. And I was like, damn, this episode done already?
I know, and I have to wait at least 5 to 10 more minutes before I can end this episode and watch the next one.
And we had a gag. What was the gag of the end of the episode?
I forget. What was the gag?
I fucking.
How do we both? It must have been nothing. It must have literally been nothing.
The Jujutsu wiki, please.
We watched it, right?
We did watch it.
Nothing will ever be as big as the frickin' the last one where it was like Mojito as a lady and like everyone was like high school girls.
We're too like blinded by that.
God. I was so excited for the next episode. I forgot. It must have been like a really quick joke one, right?
I guess.
How do we forget this?
And then it didn't.
Too much mead.
Like, who did it involve?
I don't even know.
We're going to go back and like see what the fuck it was before we start the next episode.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. Okay, well, let's keep going. We'll see. Maybe it'll come to us.
No, you can probably pull it up on your second screen right there.
But I don't feel like it.
All right, because the wiki might show you. Right
the wiki might show. Oh wait, I have this episode up already. All right, keep talking about something.
I can't believe this is like, what the fuck did we forget? Like, you just look at all the character names on there.
It literally doesn't say. It literally.
Damn.
The Wikipedia just says that there is a Jujutsu Scroll.
Not even the Jujutsu Kaisen fans from the wiki do not want to tell you what happened at the end of the episode.
It's hidden knowledge. All right, or we can't keep talking about this.
All right.
So what else?
It must not have been important.
It certainly could not have been important. What else happened in this episode?
That was the end of the episode. The Jujutsu Scroll we cannot remember for the life of us.
All right, Jujutsu Scroll.
That's when we saw episode 19 we're on, Jim. Did you not listen to my fucking intro?
I didn't. I was just wanted to see the
You want to see Mojito in a dress? Or in a school uniform?
Yes.
God.
I can't believe we forgot.
Oh no, it was the coat rack. That's right.
Oh, it was the How did we both forget?
Because fuck this guy.
Honestly, this was a bad one. I didn't like this.
It was
joke.
funny that someone actually discussing, like, I'm gonna make you take your skin and make it into a coat or something like that. But actually, like, showing how they do it, but it was not good. And I hate this guy, and he's not a character.
It didn't make sense.
He's there to die.
So it didn't make sense to me because he's making a coat rack, but it's too short. Like he put like pegs on like the floor
and not even using the full spine, cutting the spine up and putting woods in between each plank of spine
to accentuate the length. Yeah.
So this guy reminds me that he's like a fucking weird character that should be like Dodo or Hidoro and not in Jujutsu Kaisen.
Sure.
Like it's like that where he had like weird face paint on and has a weird like gimmick of just wanting to make
like
furniture out of people.
So big ups. We want to say thank you to the anime yandere.
Still thank him
for putting up this episode of Jujutsu Scroll on YouTube. I like how we assume it's a man.
I think they part 1 and part 2 on there because he couldn't put the entire Jujutsu Scroll on there.
Why would? Also, the quality is like 240p.
Welcome to Jujutsu Scroll Kai Quest.
This episode's really short, but I really don't have anything else to say about it.
There's a lot of action in it, and just that's like some cool like oh shit moments.
I feel like the next episode's gonna be the end of the arc. So, and I feel like
we're into that baseball episode.
I feel like we're gonna have a lot to say about that once it's over.
Let's go for well, that's gonna be the end of our conversation. Then we can get the fucking baseball episode. Let's go, and we can discuss various baseball episodes in anime.
I can think of one.
I can think of
two.
I can think of a couple. I can think of a couple.
I can think of a few baseball anime.
No, baseball anime does not count. It has to be random episodes in an anime that go to a random baseball episode.
It'd be funny if like baseball anime had like a shonen like
a slice of life episode.
Like they have like a shonen battle episode where like they just pretend like they're a shonen battle series.
I mean, that's like most sports anime though.
That's true, actually.
Like I'm pretty sure like Ice Shield 21 was like that.
All right, shonen battle with like superpowers. Oh wait, that's basically Haikyuu, isn't it?
That's everything.
It's not basically everything.
That's literally everything.
They just all have superpowers.
All right, and this is gonna be a very short episode then, because this is mainly an action-filled episode with some like.
Let's artificially extend this episode's length. If you had to make a coat rack out of any of my bones, what would it be? Okay, no. If you had to make furniture out of any of my bones, what would it be?
Oh my god! You can't just give me a straight face.
All right, I'll go first. So you have very long limbs, so I would definitely use. I would use probably your. Is this the fibula? The arm, the one on the arm. I'd use your arms and your femurs to make, like a
Jim, I hope you know if someone like at a future job looks up this episode and feel like Jim, like this is when Jim talks about what fucking parts of his friend's body he wants to make furniture out of.
Sam, this is I'm doing it for the Vine.
You could, no.
Well, if anyone from Future Job is looking at this, in the last episode we're talking about Miwa pooping.
That's for my job.
Miwa taking a shit.
They're like, you son of a bitch, you're in. Jim, the joke is girls don't poop.
That's true. You never step foot in a bathroom.
That's your payoff after coming back a week later.
All right. Yeah, let's just fucking end this. Plug me up, baby.
We want to get to that baseball episode as soon as possible. It ends up quick.
That's true. It is hard to talk about an episode that is just mostly fighting.
Yes. Other than you great moments.
I thought it was cool. Megami was sick. I want to see more Megami as always. Maki was sick.
Do you think? Okay.
Teamed up.
One question: do you think the villain will die at the end of this arc?
The tree man?
Yes.
You know, I want to say yes, but so far no one else has. So I wouldn't be surprised if they made it out. They have to die. They have to die, right? What do you think?
I usually would say yes, but I think the blacksmith guy is going to die, and then the fucking wood guy is gonna peace out.
We still never saw what happened to him. I feel like they intentionally didn't show the.
We'll see at the end because like it's gonna next episode's probably gonna cut towards it. I mean, it's gonna be a fucking puddle.
Probably.
So, I think because like that's the only other thing. And then we can kind of discuss like what we felt this arc in general, which probably gonna be more positive. Other than if it doesn't end like
I can't imagine
unless it ends suddenly like Mojito did. So, we'll see. We shall see.
All right.
Hey man, we got to see Panda again too.
I was happy to see Panda. I feel like I am really warming up to these characters. I've enjoyed. This is like what I needed from the show. I needed all the characters
to interact,
to get their like
fleshing out. It was weird to have the main trio hang out for like a mini arc, and then the main character just fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird because I think I mentioned to you, like, Fire Force has, like, a thing where, like, the main character has fucked off for, like, what I feel like forever, and all the side characters that we've met along the way have been having the, like, adventures and fighting.
That's good.
Which is kind of cool. But,
I like that. And,
every side character has fucking appeared, even, like, from, like, the entirety of Fire Force, which is, like, 300 chapters.
That's crazy.
So.
Also, I looked up just randomly on the wiki. I saw the length of the manga that we're in right now. So in Jujutsu Kaisen,
it's like 40 chapters.
Like, it's only 40 chapters in, which is like pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's just like I said, it was weird, and like Yuji is like learning more from like this arc, the fight, than what he learned with like Navarra and the Mojito arc.
It's true.
Like
Nanami, you mean?
Yeah, Nanami. Sorry.
Yeah, Todo and Yuji are like the most unexpected like joy friendship in this for me. Like I love how quickly they gelled together.
It seems now the Tokyo crew and like the Kyoto crew are gonna like they're feeling to be getting along better now. Like not even like this themselves, but like everybody seems to be working together right now.
Yeah. This is like what they needed. Like it's like at the end of Watchmen, like when Ozymandias uses a nuke alien to kill 1 million Americans. He does this to unite America and USSR together.
Sure.
It's just like we needed this big tree man to unite our Kyoto and Tokyo sister schools.
But Maki and Mai are still gonna hate each other, and Momo's still gonna be a huge bitch.
Momo just needs to be told that like she needs to learn what feminism is. And stop being such a fucking simp.
Like that one episode of Powerpuff Girls where they teach a fake feminist about Susan B. Anthony who wants to rob the bank of only Susan B. Anthony coins, and she doesn't know anything about her, so they just like school her on who she is.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That was like the OG series.
Yeah, that was Powerpuff Girls owning a fake feminist. Maybe not in hindsight.
Feminist owned by the Powerpuff Girls.
And until they learn about how the Powerpuff Girls hate being Powerpuff Girls in the new reboot, and I know it got canceled at this point.
We don't talk about it.
And how they're gonna leak Bubbles' OnlyFans nudes, and Buttercup's a huge lesbian that has sex with everybody.
One thing I did love about those leaks, and the only reason I'm going into this is because we are just stalling for time, is I love like people drew the original Powerpuff Girls
saw that.
saying those lines, and I was like, this is actually really good and funny. Like Bubbles saying like totes WTF. Or, like,
it worked on you before. It's like so bad. Just don't.
Just don't. Powerpuff Girls is like one of the most cursed franchises.
It really is.
It went from being like just a great cartoon to becoming like a magical girl anime.
Powerpuff Girls Z?
Yes, Powerpuff Girls Z. To being rebooted in like a horrible reboot.
Yeah.
And then now it's got this shit.
Hey man, they just want to reboot all the old stuff. Like Rugrats got a CG fucking reboot.
Oh, it looks so bad.
It does look disgusting. So
all right, yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah. Hey man, people come here to listen to this bullshit.
Listen to this like very old.
If they managed this long from, if they managed to listen to the Miwa pooping, then they can listen to this.
Miwa shitting.
So yeah.
Please stop sending me fan art of Miwa shitting. I've already
keep sending it to Jim at King Protus on Twitter. At the Jujutsu Kaisen Discord section.
No.
Of our Discord.
No. NSFW not allowed.
Make sure you can censor it. It'll be fine.
All right, Miwa shitting, but not safe for work.
No one listens to these anyway on the fucking Discord. So.
All right. Thank you for listening.
Thank you all for listening. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff.
Don't like this one, actually.
Yeah, you can like it.
You can down like.
Don't be a rebel. Don't listen to Jim. Like that shit.
Thumb up.
You can follow the podcast and Jim, send your pooping Miwa art at King Protus or at Jokakaka podcast. You can send your Maki art to me at Gokaiku. And I think that's everything, right?
That's all.
All right. We got this 20
We got to the 20. We got the golden 20. All right. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye. Code